All right, can you guys hear me? I am trying this on hold on one sec, everybody. Loud and clear. You guys can see me, you guys can hear me. Everything looks okay? Trying this back on my computer again. Haven't done this on my computer in a long time. All right, perfect. So I got a new computer, got it set up in my office, got the game on in here, and hopefully the mic sounds pretty good. If you need me to turn it up or turn it down, just let me know, because I haven't streamed on here in forever. So I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to go on my phone and watch the stream at the same time, but it is it's not letting me. But you guys can see me, so that's all that matters. hair's getting long. I need a haircut. All right, good. As long as you guys can hear me, see me. I will say this chair is not the most comfortable chair in the world. I got to figure out how I want to maneuver this. My back's going to hurt after a while. That is not too low, sir. That's a strike. What's up, Keith? What's up, Adam? Christian, what's going on? Well, that's not a good way to start a game off. 4 straight balls. What's that? No. Well, we've one batter has hit, and Laura's already asking me if I'm almost done or if I'm doing the whole game. Hey, watch it, cowboy up. I'm not old at all. There it is. This actually, I like this setup a lot more. So I've got my mic set up right here, using the IMAX FaceTime camera, I guess. And then I've got the computer screen literally like 5. Oh my! How about for the reaction there? Like, half the people didn't look like we're watching the game. They just got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right at their face, and nobody flinched back there. Let's see who flinched. Well, I guess that one guy flinched a little bit. Well, I was going to say, have we seen an off-speed pitch? I guess that's the first one right there, a little 94 cutter. That's how you do a job, though. Hit a ball to the right side, get the runner over. I am not allowed to show the game. That would get me shut off YouTube. Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot stream the game. So the best way to do it is throw the game on your television, and then we can talk about it. So Dodgers going infield in here early in the game. Sometimes during the game like this, you'll see them stay back, and usually you're anticipating a close game or usually a low-scoring game. I mean, it's not super typical to do it in the first inning. We've got Kopech on the mound right now for the Dodgers. I mean, unfortunately for the Dodgers, they have so many injuries that every game feels like a bullpen game for them. Oh my. He is all over the place right now. I'm not personally cheering for either team here. I just like to watch the games. I don't have a dog in the race or a horse in the race. What's the saying? I guess probably a horse, although there are dog races. Who's winning this one? I have no idea. I mean, I'll go Dodgers, I guess. So 3-2 goes with the breaking ball right there. Yeah, I think Kopech's probably not going very deep in this game. I think he's probably opening the thing up and so you probably see the same thing here with Alonso. Not gonna get, yeah, exactly. Not really gonna probably give into him very much. Starts him off with a 0-0 cutter, although that was like a really hard slider. Oh my. I think right there, obviously, Alonso is sitting 100% off speed pitching. Yeah, he was sitting on a slider and he got a fastball right down the middle. At this point, I guess you can go high fastball, you can go slider off the plate. Oh, that's a great pitch. I mean, you literally can't walk to the plate and put a better pitch, an 0-2 pitch than that. It's a great pitch. I mean, technically it's a ball. It's a great pitch, though. I don't know, though. He spit on that slider just off the plate. I don't know if you try to throw it even further off or you just, it looks like just go a hard fastball. Yeah, just a hard fastball. I think he's probably laying off that, not because he thought it was a ball. I think he probably was anticipating something else and got that pitch and said, oh, shoot, and then said, thankfully, it was a ball. Tough play. Great. Oh! I want to see a replay of that right there. I don't know if he had that much more time. Let me see this again real quick. Just out of the reach of Muncy. Do you give a 30-year-old $40 million a year if you're the Mets next year, or a 30-year-old first baseman? Yeah, Freeman's banged up. I'll tell you what, I'm the wrong person to ask if you do that because I look through the salaries and I can't believe how much players get paid. So it's hard for me to give $40 million to anybody. My brain's still living like 15 years ago with salaries. That's a crazy stat there, Daddy. Yeah, I don't think there was anything really wrong done by the fielder there. I think Taylor, I mean, could he have gone glove and then throw? I mean, possibly. But Alonso got out of the box a little slowly there because he got so jammed. But as a hitter, like you can feel the runner running down the line and you know the runner's speed. But that ball was hit so slow that I think almost like see how much he got jammed. Anytime you get jammed like that on an inside fastball, it takes like a little bit of time to get out of the box, especially if you're as big as, if your nickname's a polar bear, then it takes a little bit of time. So I don't think there was anything wrong with the judgment of how he fielded that. I think the ball just was thrown up the line a little bit. I'm a big Terry Francona fan, so I like the move. Yeah, take a mound visit, so thanks, Kerry. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to compete. There's obviously some teams that have been able to do it without spending a ton of money, but it's much more difficult. If you look at the teams that are in it right now, Dodgers spend a ton of money, Yankees spend a ton of money, Mets spend a ton of money. How do I feel about Ellie De La Cruz? Well, I think he has an unbelievable tool set. I don't watch him a ton. I mostly see highlights with most guys just because I don't watch the Reds play a whole lot, but you can't ask for a better tool set than him again. We got to pop up to right. Mookie's camped, and that's the inning. So, Kopech wasn't exactly throwing the ball where he wanted to, but he could have got out of that inning with no runs if it wasn't for, a lucky kind of place jam shot right there. Yeah, I think so too. I'll look up real quick now that we have a little break real quick. Let me look up Ellie De La Cruz. So I wish I had I got to figure out how to do a screen recording on this OBS. I'm kind of learning it again because I haven't done it in so long. I know that there's a way to do it, so I'm just taking a peek real quick at Ellie De La Cruz. What did he do this year? He hit 259, 339 on base percentage, 471 slug, 810 OPS. Let's see. Yeah, he swings and misses and strikes out a ton. One of the worst whiff percentages and K percentages in the league. So, swings and misses a ton, obviously. But he has some of the best bat speed in the league. Walks a good amount. And his exit velo and barrel percentage and all that stuff, hard hit. When he hits the ball, he hits it hard. The issue is just getting him to hit it more often, lay off pitches that aren't, good pitches, make more contact. But he's down as maybe the fastest player in the league with one of the strongest arms, with the best range or one of the best ranges in the league. So the tools are all there. And how old is he? 22? Oh, 22. It's crazy. You know who's an absolute cyborg is O'Neal Cruz. I saw O'Neal play this summer, and my seats were pretty close to the field, and he walked over pretty close to us. He is one of the largest humans I've ever seen. I need to see Judge in person. That's one person I have not seen in person. O'Neal Cruz is listed at 6'7", 215. He looked bigger than that. He looked like he was 240. He was a lot more jacked than I was anticipating. But O'Neal Cruz is interesting because his stuff, it's so similar to Ellie De La Cruz. They both have some of the best bat speed in the league, best arm strength in the league, very good sprint speed, super good sprint speed, but super bad with whiffing. His swing and miss, his chase, all that stuff is not good. So has the tools, but The only difference is O'Neill Cruz's range is not very good, but he is huge. Like he's not built. He's built like a third base. I mean, he's like a big first baseman, but he'd probably be a great third baseman. All right, let's get back to the game for a minute here. I probably want to watch Shohei's at bat. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ellie is super talented. Was he? The Gardens pitcher was tipping all his pitches last night? I did not know that. There it is. 2-strike approach. Just put the ball in play. Find a barrel. Wow, it's crazy how many fastballs he threw him last time out. That arm angle is so tough. I was going to say, it's not like he destroyed that ball. He was kind of butt out and just flipped his hands at it. But whatever it takes to get it done with 2 strikes. What? How is that a strike? That ball's a breaking ball, and it was caught high. Yeah, Otani's not a bad player. What was it that he was tipping pitches? Oh, sorry. I just saw that you're above. I noticed in his glove was way more open when he was throwing his off speed and more closed on fastballs. Interesting. I'll have to go back and check that out. If you noticed that, then I would say 100% the team noticed that because, I mean, they've got people studying all that stuff. Yeah, the game I watched O'Neill was at short. But he is not a shortstop. It's a good pitch right there. Maddie actually is complaining that he can't watch the game today, but he was up late last night. He's got school tomorrow, so that ball was more of a strike than the breaking ball up that was called on Mookie. Wow, Teoscar's 0 for 18? I did not realize that. I don't believe Mookie is overrated. No, I think Mookie's a great player. Uh-oh. You get that? Yeah, he did get that. Oh, off the top of the wall. How do you get a long single? I hope he didn't jog out of the box. I'd be pissed right now. Run, Teoscar. Run. Oh, that would drive me insane. It's like, and this is the type of stuff. It's like 1 out, first and third. If we get a ground ball double play right here, like I would literally want to strangle someone. Yeah, I 100% agree. You're over 18, but like you better hit the ball 50 feet over the fence if you're going to just jog the first. Like that ball, I mean, Edmund can really run, so I guess it makes a double play tougher, but still. They definitely could have done some type of safety squeeze if they wanted to. Like one play that I do like to do if it's first and third is that I'll just push a bunt to the first base side. Oh my Lord, he was late on that pitch. I'll just push a bunt to the first base side, get the runner in, move the guy from first up to second. I get thrown out of first base, and it's like, or if I push it really well, I can get a base hit bunt. But the worst case scenario is like I get the RBI, I move a runner in the scoring position. I mean, I would have been released if I jogged like that, but I'm not Teoscar Hernandez, so. What do you go now? You went fastball up. Do you do it again? Do you try to throw like that back foot breaking ball? I don't think I'd want to throw a changeup because he might just tap one and then I can't get the double play. I'd go fastball up. Yeah, fastball up. I mean, I think I really only feel like I'd want to go fastball up, or if I think I can get a swing and miss over the breaking ball down and in. Yeah, he tried to go with the breaking ball, but he left that like it was nowhere close. I mean, that ball was nowhere close to where he wanted to throw it. Hey, thanks for watching all our videos. Yeah, and the ball's like out over the plate. I'm assuming he wanted to bury that like more back foot, and he just threw it over the plate. There you go. It broke your streak there of no lead changes. Yeah, he was way out in front of that breaking ball. Obviously, he might have been sitting fastball again, thinking he was going to try to go up with the fastball again, and he just threw a breaking ball. It was out in front, but it stayed over the plate too much. Manae's kind of weird because I don't know, like he's funky. He's got that like really low delivery, and like he doesn't have. I mean, he could. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he has like great stuff. I'm gonna look him up in a second too once we go to once the inning ends. But he just kind of gets you out with like a lot of funk. I do not care who wins this series now. Unfortunately, I do not have a team that I cheer for. Yep, Freeman is ankle's not feeling good. Clayton Kershaw might just live in the dugout. And actually, I had a player Oh, I didn't have a player. I had a teammate that lived in the clubhouse in AAA. He didn't get an apartment. He just lived in the clubhouse. So he'd stay there 24/7. Good way to save money, I guess. But whoa, that ball's Manai is all over the place. All right, have fun with the laundry. Yeah, I think Freddie's ankle has been bothering him. I don't even know if he asked permission. I think he just did it. I mean, I guess he must have asked somebody because, they lock it up and open it up. And I mean, I don't know how it worked, but yeah, he lived there. Like we'd be leaving. I remember I'd be leaving the clubhouse late at night, and he'd be like getting like his bed ready and on the sofa with his blanket and his pillows and everything. No, he didn't. He never made it to the major leagues. AAA was the highest he got. Great kid though. Loved baseball. Every time I'd come into the clubhouse, he's like, well, of course he was the first one in. He lived there. But you'd always come in the clubhouse and he'd always be there playing cards with people, like just really, really enjoyed the baseball life. Yeah, living in the press box, your first college coaching job. You know, it's funny thinking about this. My first time coaching college full time, so I coached at Wake Forest my first year when I got released. I had to go back to school and get my degree because I never got my degree. I got drafted after my junior year. So I went back and got my degree and coached at Wake Forest. My title was like a student assistant coach, I think, because technically I was still a student. I hadn't graduated yet. But my next year, I was at Holy Cross. And I don't think I've told a whole lot of people this, but I slept in my car a lot while coaching at Holy Cross. I'd go on road trips recruiting, and we didn't have a super big budget, and like a lot of coaches would just kind of like bunk up with each other. You'd go on the road, ball's just off. You go on the road and you jump in with a bunch of other coaches and, split hotel rooms because people think that, colleges have all this money. And I mean, the big time ones do. The Power Fives or now the Power Fours, I guess, do. But, Holy Cross doesn't. And, and I was trying to save the program money and I wasn't really making much money coaching. And, I was like, I'm not going to spend my own money for hotels. So I just sleep in my car. And I remember Laura would get like so mad at me because she'd be like, go in the hotel room. And I'd be like, no. I'd be in the park. I'd go to a hotel parking lot, and I would just put the recliner back in the car and fall asleep. And it would be hot as hell sometimes. I'd be recruiting in the summer and you shut the car off. The AC's not on. Even at night, it's hot out. I'd be like dying in the thing. Rhett Lauder, he was nasty. I didn't coach him there. I coached well before he was there, but he was nasty. This is a rookie. Man, that ball's like right down the middle. I never was a scout. No, I was offered. Last live, we talked a lot. Alonzo going to try to make this play. Oh, tough play. Stayed with it. So I was offered a bunch of different jobs in pro ball, but never really had interest in being a scout. So been offered jobs like minor league manager, hitting coach at pretty much all levels, single A, double A, triple A, and some different coordinator jobs, but never scout. I'm gonna see real quick. I gotta go on. I'm going on my YouTube channel on my phone here. Because it's still, when I go on my phone for some reason, it's not saying that I'm live, and I don't understand why. Like, I feel like it should say that I'm live, and it does not. Am I going crazy or what? No clue. How did you guys all find out that I was live? Did you get like a notification on your phone? How's that work? Yeah, let's look up some players. We'll go to Baseball Savant again. We'll look up Sean Manaea. How did it know I was going to type in Manaea? I went to the search bar and Manaea just popped up. So let's see what we got here from Manaea. 43% sinkers, 18% sweepers, 11% changeups. He has great extension for whatever that's worth. Let's see. Let's go to his pitches. Breaking ball, not considered great. Why is his fastball considered so good? Is it just the arm angle? Let's see if I can get his stats on each pitch. So if I'm reading this right, his fastball, let me see, 2024, four-seam fastball. Looks like he has a ton of movement on his fastball. I guess that makes sense with his arm angle. His cutter and breaking ball do not move a whole lot. But apparently he's got a good fastball. What's his stats this year? 12-6, 3.47 ERA. Strikes out about a guy an inning. And how do you pronounce the Dodgers' young outfielder's name? Is it Andy Pages or is it Pages? It's a big breaking ball right there, or slider, I guess they call it. Pages. Now we get two different people. Pages, is that right? Andy Pages? I know I am quite close to the camera here. You know what I'm actually getting? See this right here? So I got this last year. You guys have probably, or not last year, like 2 years ago. It's from the sun, apparently. Usually you'll get them like, maybe somewhere on your chest or something. But I just got one on my eye because I'm outside so much. And I'm getting that lasered off later this week. So next time you see me, well, they told me that I'm going to be like severely bruised. I don't know exactly what I'm going to look like, but they told me I'm going to be bruised up pretty good. She was like, so just, if you have any plans or anything. I said, I'm old. I don't go anywhere. But yeah, I won't. I mean, depending on how good of a job they do, I won't have that on my eye anymore. That's an interesting point there. So you said so many players get drafted. Well, think about how many players don't get drafted and don't make it to the big leagues. 1% make it. Sometimes I think playing is not worth it. So here's the thing. I just got that off the end of the bat a little bit, looks like. So here's the thing. Like most people, I know so many people that play baseball that are like, they don't want to stop playing. I'm not even talking about pro players. I'm talking about like guys that play college, they get through college, maybe even play like a super low level of college. And then when college is done, they'll like go try to find any place. They just keep playing baseball just because they love baseball. So, the chances of making it to the big leagues are so slim. And, I think most kids want, every kid dreams, maybe not every kid, but lots of kids dream about playing in the major leagues. But if the only reason you play baseball is because you're only doing it to play in the major leagues, and if you don't play in the major leagues and you feel you wasted your time or, it wasn't worth it, then, not a lot of people are going to be disappointed. I think most people play baseball because they love baseball. So, baseball really becomes not fun when you start to look at it more like a business than just playing the game. Like the most fun I ever had in baseball was like Little League. It's like before you really, you're at the age where you imagine yourself playing in the major leagues one day, but it's so far away that you're like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a dream, but you're not playing because of that. You're just playing because it's really fun to play baseball. And then, there comes a point, maybe not for everyone, but for me, where like baseball does become, there's more pressure, feels more like a job. And sometimes that's when the game isn't as fun, unfortunately. I think the hardest thing for me is that some people might think, I guess if you really, really love baseball, then yeah. But in the minor leagues especially, you're playing every day and you're playing in pain a lot and you're living in shitty hotels and like traveling no sleep. And it's so much that it does become to feel more like a job than it did most of your life, because it's so many games and so much work, and there's a lot of pressure and you have to do well, and if you don't do well, then it starts taking a toll on you mentally. Like that's where it kind of stinks. Like Little League is awesome and high school is so much fun and college is a ton of fun. Not to say the minor leagues isn't fun, and I never really got to have fun in the big leagues, because when I got there, I was like under a lot of pressure to play well. And, I talked last week and in other videos of some of the difficulties that came along with like being there. This is a former teammate of mine right there, Antoine Richardson. Great guy. We played together, first base coach for the Mets. I have a lot of there's ads on my stream right now, Jay. Is that what you said? I don't even know how to put ads up here. How often are they popping up? This is my first time doing, I've been doing it on my phone for a long time, and this is my first time using this OBS on this computer. I had it set up on my old computer, but honestly, I have no idea I got lucky that I was able to figure out how to set it up, but ball's ripped. Good swing by Lindor. Lindor, one of my favorite players. I always tell my Lindor story. So when I was with the Indians, Lindor was like a young kid. And I played with him every day in spring training. He was shortstop. I was a third baseman. And I practiced with him every day, played in games with him. And it's weird when Francisco Lindor isn't Francisco Lindor yet. Like he had been drafted and he was given a lot of money, but so was I. Like we were both given over $1 million to play, and I'm on YouTube, and he's a perennial all-star. So you don't know who's going to make it and who's not going to make it, but it's funny just playing with him all the time and watching him play. And thinking like, yeah, this kid's a good player, but never realizing that he's going to turn out to be what he turned out to be. It's crazy. What do we got here? 1-1. It's a hittable fastball. Nimmo pops it up. I got it. And he's got it. That's interesting, Jay. You're getting a bunch of ads, and Adam said he hasn't seen any. Hey, Matty G. So I'm not personally rooting for anyone tonight. Just rooting for a good baseball game. So I don't have a favorite team. I grew up a Red Sox fan. And then once I got drafted, kind of stopped watching them. And, some players play professionally and they continue to be fans of teams, and I just couldn't do it. Like the first year I was, probably 06, I followed the Red Sox. 07, they won the World Series. I remember watching that World Series and literally like not caring at all that they won it. When only a few years later or a few years earlier when they won it, I went I was going crazy. And I vividly remember my freshman year in college when Aaron Boone hit that home run off Tim Wakefield to beat us in that Pedro Martinez Grady Little game. And I remember like wanting to cry. Like I feel like I can picture myself sitting in my dorm watching that game and like just staring at the TV for an hour after we lost, contemplating life. And now I don't have any teams, just because I started playing and stopped watching the Red Sox, and that was it. I can't get back into it. Like we go to Red Sox games, but I watch a lot of games at Fenway, and I feel obligated to kind of cheer, even though I don't really care who wins the game. Let's see. It's all YouTube controlling ads. Gotcha. Yeah. Wow, Jason, 3 ads. They are hitting you heavy with the ads. Sorry about that. I can't control it. I have no idea how to turn it off or stop it. Yeah, so I played with... so Tito was our manager my 1 year with the Indians, but I broke camp in AAA, so I played in the big leagues for a little bit in spring training, so that's where I got to meet Tito. Didn't really talk to him very much. It was interesting. The first time I met him, or the first time I ever talked to him, all he said to me was, he was like, "Hey, you're a Peabody guy, huh?" Peabody is where I grew up. It's a town or city outside of Boston. And obviously he was a Red Sox manager for a long time. So he was like, "Hey, you're a Peabody guy, huh?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. Lived there my whole life." And he was just like, and that was it. That was pretty much all we said. Closest manager I had, out of all my managers I played for was, as far as major league managers, was Buddy Black, just because I was obviously with the Padres longest, and we had longer talks than just that. He really, the major league managers that I was around mostly was Buddy Black. Obviously, I was with the Padres for 5 years, and then I was with the Orioles for only a couple of months. But I was with Buck Showalter every single day in spring training. Had spent some time in the off season. Before spring training started, I flew down to Baltimore to work out with some of the guys, and so got to spend a little bit of time around Buck. And he was like really, really good at making you feel like you were going to be super helpful to the team. Maybe he thought I was, but I remember I went down there in like the December or January timeframe before spring training, sat in his office with them. We were just talking about stuff, and he made me feel like I was going to be like the starting third baseman on the team. And then I got to spring training, and I actually did start the first game of spring training, but I started at second base. And we played in the Rays. I got to hit my first at-bat, and then I got to hit my second at-bat, and I was feeling awesome. And then I slowly like stopped playing. And Robert, what was his name? Robert Andino? Is that his name? He beat me out at second base. And Buck called me in the office, sent me down to AAA. Told me I was going to be the starting third baseman at AAA. And I was like, all right. And opening day at AAA, I was on the bench. I'd never been on the bench like in my life. And I was like, what the hell? And I was on the 40-man roster. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? So my time with Baltimore didn't last very long. There's a little jam shot to left. Let's see. Let's answer some questions. Oh, Shohei is up. I'll tell you what. So real quick, we'll answer a question in a second. But that lighting, I always saw the ball much better in the day than I did at night. But the one exception, it depends on what time it is, because sometimes as the sun's coming down, you get a little bit of glare off of the center field wall. And there were some stadiums where like I couldn't see anything at certain times of day. But usually, typically, I want to hit in the day. So let's watch this one at bat right here. Because obviously, huge. I mean, anytime Shohei's up, we've got a chance of a home run here. Let's see what they go with. They went slider away or sweeper away or whatever you want to call it. And they went sinker way in. So he attacked them in the first time they saw each other in the playoffs. It was all fastballs. And then that last at bat, he gave up that little, it was a fastball away that he hit, he kind of went butt out and hit it. So I wonder if they just try to go hard in fastballs, just throw the sinker in, try to jam them. Nope, they're going away. What do I know? Well, the ball ended up in. That's probably where I would have tried to throw it. They set up away and then they missed in by like, he missed by like 2 feet in. And obviously Shohei, I mean, look where that ball's like, can't get any closer. So now, like, does he go sweeper off the plate here? Like that? It's just not a good pitch, but I get what he's trying to do. I don't know. I think he doesn't have great feel for a sweeper. I just throw a sinker. I would just go sinker in. Just throw it in. He's going away again. Oh, he's setting up away. And it ended up middle. I would still just throw it in more. I don't think he's going to throw sweeper or slider because he doesn't seem... I mean, Shohei's not really putting any good swings on the fastballs. But go in. He's going away again. They do not want to go in. And it went up and in. See? Just listen to me, dude. Although he's totally missing his spot. Like, he's not trying to throw it there at all. But I would much rather stay up and in. Shohei has not looked comfortable on any of these. He hasn't put like a solid swing on a ball yet. Okay, let's answer some questions, even though Mookie's up now. We'll watch quick. Yeah, you got him on the changeup in the first at bat. They're going to go fastball in here. Yep. Has Manaea picked off at all this game? Well, if you fake like you're going, basically, I mean, not that you need to really, you should already know this. No one's putting good swings on the fastball right now. A lot of guys will fake break at first just to see if the pitcher's reading them, because a lefty is either they're gonna be a read guy where they lift their leg, and if you steal or flinch or whatever, they'll pick off, and if you don't, then they'll pitch. But clearly, Manaea is just predetermining whether he pitches or picks. I mean, he's barely picking at all. I don't know if I've seen a pick. So that's the inning right there. Okay, let's get to the questions now. Do you get nervous hitting? I don't feel nervous fielding or pitching, only when I'm batting. Yeah, so I was actually the opposite. I never got nervous hitting. I got nervous fielding, which is interesting. So, if you could have told me that I could hit every at-bat and never play the field, that's what I would have done. So everyone's different. But it's not uncommon at all to be nervous. Like, I was nervous for most games. Not nervous to the point where you're like, scared shitless or anything, but like some sense of, I think if you're nervous, all it kind of means is like it's important to you. So, yeah, I think it's perfectly normal to have some nerves. Would you ever consider having Shohei close the game at 7? Oh, so it's funny you say that. So Nick Palma and Kyle Priest and I were talking a couple nights ago after our hitting clinic. And, Nick said, dude, if Shohei's ready, he's got to close. You got to bring him in to close the game. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, he hasn't thrown at all. And both Kyle and Nick were like, kind of like, yeah, you got to bring him in. And I guess if he shows, if he has been throwing side pens, which he has, and if he's faced live hitters, I don't know if he has, yet or not. But I mean, I guess if he's faced live hitters and he's healthy and ready to go, then hell, I guess you go with it. You're down pitching. Where's my favorite part of the stadium to watch the game from as a spectator? So we went to the Red Sox game probably like a month or so ago, and we sat in the front row, right where the on deck hitter hits for the first time ever. I've never sat that close in my life. We got the tickets from my brother-in-law got us tickets. He gets great tickets, and it was crazy. And the best part about that seat was you're so close that you can, you feel like you're in the box. It's awesome. Plus, it's cool. You get to talk with the on-deck hitters and stuff. Some of the guys will talk to you. I didn't talk to any, but my son did. But it's such a great seat. You feel like you're literally on the field. But then at Fenway, they have TVs all around. If you look down, there's a TV right there, so you can watch the pitch, and then you look down, and the game's on like, I don't know, maybe like a 3-second delay or whatever it is, and then you can see exactly where the pitch is. So if you're watching the game, you're like, oh man, like that pitch looks good right there. Where did that miss? Then you just look down, and you see the pitch on the broadcast, on the TV broadcast, which is awesome. So those, I mean, I would sit there. I'd go every game if I had those seats. What I don't like is sitting someplace where you don't have a good angle and you don't have a TV, so you don't know where any pitches are. Yeah, Juan Soto was awesome last night. The big home run, had a huge at-bat, battled, fought off a bunch of breaking balls and off-speed pitches, and then got the fastball kind of at the very top of the zone. And, he typically does damage on pitches up. His swing's kind of built for the pitch up. And 2 strikes, it's hard to hit any pitch, but he got to that fastball. Oh, Buddy got extended in Colorado. Yeah, so Buddy's he's such a great manager to play for. He's just a really, really good guy. I mean, I don't know if anyone has ever met him and said, I don't like Buddy Black. He just is super awesome. Oh, tough play. Yeah, I was going to say no chance they make that play. So Alonso living well right now. He's got a little jam shot single, and now he's got this. Yeah, he's got that one right there, and now he's got one that he just snuck in the hole. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I got so many questions here. Netflix documentary of the '04 Sox coming out. I did see that. I'll probably watch that. I watched a Netflix documentary on Vince McMahon last week. That was an interesting one. I grew up a huge wrestling fan, so. Yeah, Maddie, I know. Maddie's sleeping. He's got school tomorrow. Oh, Maddie's been, Maddie, so don't tell Laura. Well, she already knows, but Maddie's been wanting to stream he's very good at Fortnite. He's like really good at Fortnite. And so he's wanted to stream Fortnite games forever. And I finally let him last week. I feel like I hear him right now. Does he hear me talking? I let him stream some Fortnite games. Then I played with him and we streamed it and we put it online. And he's been like obsessed with it. If you want to go watch him play, and you don't want to watch me play, I'm terrible at it. I literally I play like once every 3 months. But if you don't have to do it right now because we're watching the game. But later on, if you check out Antonelli Gaming, I made the channel back in 2020 when COVID hit and the whole world shut down. I was bored out of my mind, so I started playing tons of video games, and I started a lot of people were, I didn't want to flood my Antonelli Baseball channel with video games, so I made an Antonelli Gaming channel, and I put a ton of stuff up there. But now Maddie is kind of taking it over with his Fortnite, and he's like pumped about it. He played in the game, and then we got home tonight. We went to see some family tonight, and then we got back, and he was on the sofa watching himself. He was on YouTube watching himself play Fortnite. Laura wasn't a big fan. She was like, she does not like when he plays video games. But she came in and said, we're not going to play video games during the day and then watch ourselves play video games at night, which I agree with. How much do I let the battery call their own pitches with 16U, 17U? Or are you calling a lot of the pitches I got? I've never once called a pitch in travel ball. So that gives you a good answer. Yeah, I don't call any pitches whatsoever. When a pitcher comes in after the inning, we might say to the pitcher. So Brian Menduke and I have been together at 17U for the last however many years, lots of years. So when a pitcher comes in, we might say like, hey, listen, this is how I would have attacked that guy. Looking at your stuff, how do you feel? This is what it looks like your stuff is playing. This is how it's playing tonight. Think about throwing more of this or less of that or whatever. And then, or maybe we call time in the middle of an inning and we go out and we talk to the catcher and the pitcher. But I'm a big fan of. Oh, I do hear Maddie yelling right now. So when it comes to pitch calling, my philosophy is I would rather you throw the wrong pitch with conviction versus the right pitch without conviction. So basically, the pitcher, most pitchers feel better about it. It changes given the night, the situation, the circumstances, all that stuff. But, I might say a breaking ball is the best pitch to use here. But maybe that night for the pitcher, he doesn't feel conviction with it. He doesn't feel good about it. And so, yeah, maybe the breaking ball is the best pitch to call in a vacuum. But that particular time, it might not be because the pitcher doesn't feel conviction. You have to feel conviction behind every pitch you throw or else it's not going to be a good pitch. If you're throwing a breaking ball and you're like, oh, I don't feel good about this. Why am I throwing this? Why did he call this? Like you're not going to throw a good pitch. So that's why I let the pitcher call his own pitches. And then I just kind of steer him towards, different thoughts and, I'm talking to him. We're talking to him all the time and see what...
Nate Matson.
Oh, Nate Matson's calling me. Sorry, Nate. I'm live right now. So I don't call anything. I also don't do that because I want the pitcher and the catcher to learn, I want them to learn how to call a game. And I know in college, like most coaches call the game because, well, there's a lot on the line in college and there's a lot more scouting reports and all that. So I get it. But I'm guessing that Nate knows that I'm live right now, and this is why he's calling me. Yeah, see, I knew that, Nate. See, now you're sending me pictures of myself. I knew that you weren't just randomly calling me. Nate, I hope that you get 500 ads. I hope there's an ad. If there was a way for me to manually send ads to you, I'd send you ads every 2 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on calling pitches. Like Nate pitched for me actually this summer, and he can tell you that I don't tell him what to pitch. I don't tell him what to throw. He throws what he wants to throw. You know, if he throws something stupid, you better bet that, especially Menduke's going to say, Nate, what the hell are you doing? Oh, you're going to the Bears-Patriots game on November 10th. That's cool. I was thinking about going to the Jets-Patriots game. I'm a huge Jets fan. I'm a huge Patriots fan. But I'm going to be honest. I knew this year was going to be an absolute train wreck. So I'm cheering for the Patriots to lose because we are so far away. We need a high pick. I really want the number one pick, and then I want someone to need a quarterback and trade like the world for it. That's the only way we're going to rebuild this thing. You know, but I will say too, like, I'm really getting pissed. Like, I'm in love with Bill Belichick, and I'm just not. I don't know. I just haven't been able to get behind Gerard Mayo just yet. It might just be because I'm still in love with Bill. Yeah, I was thinking of how to say that, but yes, just in love with Bill. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to watch. It's been tough to watch the Patriots over the last couple of years, but this is even worse. I always felt like we were in good shape with Belichick. Like, even though, you know, things might not be going well, I always felt like, okay, everything's going to be okay. And I know that we haven't won really much since Brady left. Although last year was the first disastrous year, and now we've got another disastrous one, even a more disastrous one probably this year. But okay, let's go back to questions again. Would you manage the White Sox? You can't do any worse than what we've. Give me the managing spot for the White Sox. I would take a big league job right now. Yes, absolutely. Any job in the big leagues, I'd probably take right now. I mean, I'd really like to get a Red Sox job. Then I wouldn't have to. I could just live at home. So if Ohtani comes in to pitch in the World Series, what move does Aaron Boone make? Well, he's not bringing Judge in the pitch, so I don't know what his move would be. Oh, so I was saying I'm trying to get tickets to the Patriots-Jets game next Sunday. Not so much to watch the Patriots because they kind of stink, but Jets got a lot of good players, and Maddie and both Maddie and me like going to games. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty cool. Rocky Powers. Do I think that Belichick goes to the New York Giants? I mean, I think he could. I don't know where he ends up. Like, you would think after everything that happened with the Patriots, he's going to want to go someplace that has an established quarterback. Like, I don't think he's going to want to go someplace where he's got to try to figure out the quarterback position again. I thought, when the Eagles had a rough year at the end of last year, I thought he was going to go with the Eagles. I was like, they have so much talent. I thought that would be the spot. I've also thought that he might end up in Dallas. Hey, Bruce. So we talked about this a little earlier, but yeah, if Shohei shows that he, is healthy, has faced pitchers or has faced batters in like simulated games and stuff, then yeah, I'd bring him in. Nick Palmer and Kyle Priest talked me into it. The drop 5 green Zen or the drop 5 icon. So I haven't tested either one out yet. I have not tested out a lot of bats since last year's models. So I'm gonna do that as we get going here in the winter. I'll test out a lot more bats. I'll have my son swing a bunch of bats. Ooh, got him on the breaking ball there. McNeil chased it. Yeah, so I had the same questions about Belichick and Jerry Jones working together. I think, here's my thing. I think if the Cowboys kind of fall apart this year, which they've had some really rough games, and things don't go well, I think Jerry basically is going to say, like, I need to do whatever I can to win. And I think, there's a lot of good candidates out there as far as, like, young offensive minds. I'm just a Bill Belichick fan, so I would... Evan Lukens. Oh, geez, Evan Lukens now. Now, like, literally, my entire team is going to call me now. So, here's the thing with Evan. Evan's a great example because Evan was pitching, and we're playing was it the show?
You're screaming. They can't fall asleep because all we can hear is you screaming.
Laura just came downstairs and yelled at me, said that I'm screaming and that the kids can't fall asleep. Is our house made of paper? How can they hear me from way upstairs? Oh, she's coming back again. I guess she can hear me. She just gave me the middle finger. All right, guys. I have to be quiet. That means I'm putting my phone on silent so that these knuckleheads can't call me anymore. And I'm going to try not to yell as loud because apparently everyone in my house can hear me for some reason. Hey, Laura. I needed to put this fan on. It's like 1,000 degrees in this room for some reason. Yeah, so how's the mic if I'm back here? Is that okay still? I'm trying to get like really close to it, but my back hurts now. So, yeah, Jerry Jones, I think that he's going to basically say, I need to pull out all the stops, and I'm bringing in Belichick to try to win. We're both old. Let's rock and roll, Bill. Where will the Rays play next year? That's a great question. I can't believe what happened to their stadium. I don't know. I've been in that stadium, and it is not the nicest stadium in the world, but it's still a stadium, so I don't know what they're going to do now. Yeah, I think Belichick is doing a lot of that right now. Obviously, he's doing a ton of podcasting and broadcasting and all that, but I think he's a coach. Like, I think he's coaching next year. Sorry, I'm listening real quick to Dave Roberts. Hold on one second. What does atypical mean? Yeah, atypical is not representative of a type. So wouldn't he said that was atypical of his at bats? Wouldn't he say that's typical of his at bats? Like, right, exactly. And he was trying to say that, that was a great at bat or very typical of his at bats, and he said it was atypical of his at bats. I think that was used incorrectly, or just I'm an idiot. I don't know. Yeah, so I think Belichick is gonna do all that relaxing right now, but I think he's prepping the coach. Like, I watch his podcast, his coach YouTube videos, podcast, whatever. Everything they talk about is like our team, we do it, how we do it. I just think like he's getting ready to rock and roll next year. Like they're breaking down college guys and talking about how they're going to fit in his system. And what's Evan Lucan's a great example of, Evan? So Evan Lucan's a great example. I think we were playing the show maybe. And was it the show? I can't remember. I just remember Menduke was pissed off at you because I don't think you were throwing enough breaking balls. I think he got pissed and told you to throw more breaking balls. And then you listened to him, and then you pitched really well. That might not have been that game, but I just remember him getting pissed at you. Yeah, that's a good point. This could be completely different from last year. Last year we had Rangers Diamondbacks. Edman. Wow. Roberts looks like a genius hitting Edman in the 4-hole. You put little Edman there. Hits a big double, hits a homer. Yeah. Although EJ, I don't feel like, George Steinbrenner and Joe Torre together, maybe, but like this would be a little different because it's not like you brought in Torre when he was already, it's not like someone else brought in Torre after he left the Yankees. You're bringing in Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, late in his career. So it's a little different, but. Yeah, you never know. I mean, I know it's tough to feel like the Mets are going to come back in this one, but I haven't asked everyone to like. Could everyone like the video? That'd be awesome if you could. Give it a little like. All right. How much longer are we going with Mania here? So, well, I guess I was right. I would have pulled them too. Oh my God, I think Maddie's up right now. What the hell? Like, if he thinks I'm going to like not talk for the rest of the night because he's in his bed, then he's nuts. So what are my thoughts on the in-game interviews? I'll tell you this. If I was the manager, I would hate to have to do an in-game interview. I've had to do... So when I'm coaching games, and we're talking about coaching games at the travel ball level, where winning isn't even like the number one goal. We're trying to get players recruited. But like a college coach might come over in the middle of a game, and I have to talk to the college coach and answer some questions. It just like throws me off so much. I hate doing it. Obviously, I do it because, we're helping our players. But like when I coach high school, I would never be able, and this is high school, it's not even the major league, it's not even the playoffs. I would never be able to do an interview in the middle of the game because I'm like into every single pitch of every game. I would hate it. So, yeah, I wouldn't like doing it if I was a manager. And I always think like with a lot of those interviews, nothing they say is truthful. So, like, they're not going to say anything, asking Edman right there about the at-bat and stuff like that. Like, everything is politically correct. like, oh yeah, Manaya's a great pitcher, and I wanted to get a good pitch to hit, and luckily I got one and put a good swing on it and got a good result. Like that's how everyone answers every question. It's a waste of time. He didn't tell us anything. Do you like hitting in the cleanup spot? Yeah, I guess so. I'm having a good game. Like I could answer all those questions for him the way he's going to answer them. So, whereas I just think like a truthful answer might be like, listen, Manaya has had shit control all night of his breaking ball and his fastball. It's been, I'm not giving you a true scouting report, but he might be thinking, oh my God, but like, if we're going to do an interview, like I want an honest interview, like this guy's breaking ball sucks. So I've been on his fastball. I was sitting fastball there and I got it. Like, okay, that's a good interview. He's never going to do that, but like then, okay, let's do it. But I don't need like to do it if we're not going to get any insight whatsoever. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Okay, now Laura's talking shit. Laura's saying that there's nobody watching right now. You know what, Laura? I like everybody in here that's watching. Thanks, Mike. Let's see. Love the channel. I have my 4-year-old playing in PBD West Little League, I'm assuming. Just wrapped that fall ball in the spirit of football season. St. Joe's Prep Everett 0-2 Super Bowl. I was on the sideline as a kid. What happened? You guys were loaded. So I played. We played Everett in back-to-back playoff games. So we played in, let's see, that would have been the fall of 02 and the fall of 01. So 02, what happened? I scored a touchdown on the first play of the game for us, and then I think I only got the ball like once more the rest of the game. So that's not what happened. I mean, I'll tell you what happened. You want to know what happened? We beat them up pretty good. We were more physical than them. They thought they were going to punch us in the mouth. They couldn't. I scored a touchdown on the first play of the game because they were a good team, but honestly, they weren't very fast. They were a physical team that would beat everyone up, but we were huge, so they weren't going to beat us up. And I was faster than I was probably the fastest guy on the team or on the field. So I scored a touchdown on the first play. And then, in my opinion, this is my honest opinion, most of the game we played trying to show them, or it felt like we were trying to prove to them that we were bigger, badder, stronger than them, which I still think we were. But I thought that if we got the ball out in the space a little bit more, like I was running a lot of routes and felt like no one could cover me because they didn't feel like they had anyone that could really run on that team. They were just big. So that's my breakdown of the game 20-something years later. I could be wrong with all of my assessments right there. That's from a long time ago, but... And the game was really decided on a few plays. They intercepted a ball in their own end zone, ran it back for a 100-yard touchdown return. And their other touchdown came on a fake field goal when they all stood up and got us to go off sides, and they got an automatic first down. Then they threw a ball for a touchdown, and that was it. And then we fumbled going into the end zone to win the game. So, yeah, it's crazy. Out of all the games I've ever played, I remember that game probably more than any of the others, and it pisses me off more than any of them. Even more than baseball games or anything. Because we were the best. We were the best team, but we did not win it. That sucks. Wow, that ball's crushed. Okay, that might be ball game. That's crazy, EJ. So I did not see the Jazz Chisholm comments, honestly. You have to tell me what he said. That ball is right down the middle. Also, I just want to check something real quick. So, Will Smith is 5'10", 195. He seems like he's a little bit thicker than that. I don't know. You can never believe what when you look up how big players are online, you can never believe that stuff. Because I was listed at 6'1", 190 or 6'1", 195 most of my career, and I was way bigger than that. Is the ball flying tonight? That ball almost went out. Ah, that's pretty cool, EJ. Sounds like fun. Has your program incorporated any of those water bags into warm-up routines or off-season programs? Yeah, so we use it a little bit. Our pitching guy uses it a little bit. Nick Lapori, Juan Rivera used it when he's at the facility, and then we used it hitting wise for a couple of things last year. So we had a couple of them. We've got like the really long one, and then we've got a couple of the balls. Somebody, I think, wearing cleats in our facility for some reason stepped on the long one and put a hole in it, and it leaked all the water out, so I have to get a new one of those. But yeah, we use it. Yeah, I know. I saw that Jerry Jones was getting pissed off when he was on the radio last week. I think it was. I don't know the details of their cap situation. I know that they had to pay Dak, and then they've got to pay Micah Parsons, and you've got CD Lamb as well. So it's like it's tough because you got these three guys that are going to be making $1 billion, taking up so much of your cap. I know some people also will say the cap is crap, but I think it's difficult when you have, three guys making that much money. But I don't know, 49ers seem to somehow make it happen all the time. I mean, I guess it helps that they have Brock Purdy making like $17. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Let us do battle. I see. I didn't hear him say that. I agree. Pay Juan Soto. It's going to cost a lot of money. Yeah, 6 feet 215. So I listed myself at 6'1", 195 usually, and I was probably I'm almost 6'1". I'm like 6 feet and a half inch, but I'm like 6 feet, and I was at most spring trainings at 215. My heaviest was 223, but usually 215. So, I played 20 pounds heavier than what I listed. Now I'd lose weight during the year, so I would end the season typically around like 195, 200. I lost a lot of weight during each season. We are doing fantasy football this year. Yep. We are currently in second place. We were in first last week, and we lost. Got knocked out of first. We were playing actually the other first place team. We were tied for first last week, and we ended up losing. We lost by a couple. We had a horrible. I mean, we still had a good week, but we had a couple guys that had like really bad games. Oh, I love fantasy football. Maddie loves it too. Good night, John the Beagle Dad. That's nasty slider right there. Yeah, I think what happens a lot of times, I don't feel like they ever updated our weights as we went. So they just kind of ask you like, oh, what do you weigh? And They might even taken mine from my college. Like, I don't even think they might have. I don't even know if they asked me how they got 195. But like as a pro, I never once came into spring training at 195. I mean, the lightest I came in was probably 210. You always know you're going to lose weight. The ball's hit hard, but right at him. You know you're going to lose weight during the season, at least I did. So I purposely came in heavy every spring training because you're going to lose some pounds and end up right where you kind of want to be. Oh, I agree with you, Cosmos. I mean, the Cowboys went into the season with really no running backs. I mean, they started the season with Zeke basically as their starter. That lasted like 5 minutes. But, I mean, you don't have any really proven. I mean, Zeke's over the hill. I would have paid Derrick Henry too. I mean, the Ravens are obviously loving that right now. I mean, Henry is just a freak show. The guy the guy has been basically the best, one of the best players in the field his whole life. He dominated high school like they all do. He dominated college. He went to the NFL and people said like, oh, I don't know about this guy. He runs too high and blah, blah, blah. And he's really big for a back. And he has dominated every year of his career. And he's dominating again, even though he's older. Some people might say like, oh, he's older. He can't do it. Like, I'll believe it when he stops doing it. But he's never not been successful. I hear you. Let us do battle. Yeah, so that's what I told my wife today about the Patriots. I said, after today's game in London, I said, we should be able to get super cheap seats for next week. I would think everyone's going to dump them, unless like a bunch of Jets fans are coming to the game. No one from our team has made it to the big leagues yet. We have a bunch of guys in pro ball. We've got a couple guys that are close. So hopefully we get a big leaguer in the next year or so. So this is technically, we've been around for 10 years, but the first year we really didn't have many teams at all. So I would say we got really big as a program probably 6-7 years ago. And then you figure, they leave us after their junior year. They have a year of one more year of high school, and then they have 4 years of college, 3 to 4 years of college. So like, we still haven't had a ton of time to have a ton of guys in pro ball, but we've got enough now that some have been able to move their way through pro ball and hopefully getting close to the big leagues. My preseason Super Bowl pick. So I actually placed a small wager on the on the Eagles, not because I thought they were the best team, but I thought given the odds, I think I got them at like 17-1 or somewhere around there, early in the offseason. I did it because I thought that they were going to, because they always go all in, it feels like, and then they signed Saquon. I was like, okay, good. I thought that offense would be unbelievable. And I thought that, I mean, for the first, 10 weeks last year, they were the best team in the league, and then they just like forgot how to play football, and it just became a disaster. And I thought they would figure it out this year. The defense was horrendous to end the year last year, but the defense was obviously good today, but yeah, I don't know what the hell. I thought bringing in Vic Fangio would help things a little bit. They just don't tackle super well, and I don't know. Still early. Is the main point of travel to eventually get drafted? No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, very few players get drafted. It's so hard to get drafted. I think the main point of travel ball is a couple things. One, you're trying to improve your play so that you have a successful high school career and hopefully move on to play college baseball. Most of our players move on to play college baseball. So I think that's obviously a goal. I think it's fun to play travel baseball, play against good competition, play with good players. Is that another homer? Wow, another homer. Balls are just flying tonight. So yeah, the main goal of travel, I think, is obviously to have fun, enjoy playing baseball, to get better, improve your skills. You know, to help you make your high school team to play college baseball. And there's a couple that'll get lucky, and well, not get lucky, but a couple lucky enough to get drafted. And hopefully we played a small role in helping that happen. Oh, Mr. Bill Walsh, rumor has it you bought a Stanton Yankees jersey to wear during the World Series. Any comment? If I were to buy a Yankees jersey, I would not buy a Stanton one. I would probably buy... I'm probably going to go with Juan Soto. I would love... Can Soto end up in Boston next year? I would love to watch Soto play every night. Speaking of good seats, Mr. Bill Walsh got some great seats for us like last month. We had the TV right there as well. We were able to watch the game, watch the TV. About how many games a year do your high school guys play that are in your program? How do you manage your workload? So in our area, we play typically from 20 to 25 games during the high school season because you can't start until April because it's cold. High school season goes basically until June, beginning of June. And then we play summer ball tournaments, which you'll usually get, let's say, about 30-ish games in during the summertime. So you're looking at a 50 to 60 game schedule from April to August. So there's really we don't have to do a whole lot of managing workload. Pitchers, obviously, we do, but position players, we don't really have to manage very much unless we're playing in, we go to a tournament in Georgia and, it's 105 degrees and you're playing every single day. I'll try to manage a little bit, try to get everyone a breather just to take a day for their arms. But you don't really have to manage too much. And most guys, you try to take them out of the lineup, they don't want to come out. Anybody, any of our guys, I try to, I'm like, hey, I want to give you a breather today. I want to give your arm a rest. And a lot of them are like, nah, I don't want a breather. I want to keep playing. So, what do you think of a second baseman getting drafted first overall in the MLB this year? Has to be one hell of a hitter. Yeah, he is a hell of a hitter. So, if you're going to be a second baseman that goes first overall, you got to be able to mash. And he mashed at Oregon State, so he can really hit. He's super strong, ton of bat speed, great swing, great, bat the ball skills, and swings a good pitches. So, yeah, he's a pure hitter. Let's see. Detroit is the best with their O-line. Yeah, Detroit does have a great O-line. They have two really good running backs, and they got good wide receivers and a great tight end. That offense is tough to stop. So I did not see these. I saw the Stanton home run, but I didn't watch the whole at-bat. I didn't watch the game last night. What was last night? Saturday? The hell did I do last night? I can't remember. It's a sky-high pop-up right there. Oof. That wasn't the most comfortable catcher pop in the world. I don't know what the hell I did last night, but I didn't watch that game. What was I watching? I wasn't watching anything. What did I do? I don't remember anything I had. Did Laura put something in my drink last night? I don't remember last night. I ate pizza. I remember that. But what the hell did I do? Oh, I remember last night now. Yeah, Laura and I were supposed to go. We were supposed to go out and get go for a steak dinner, and she wasn't feeling great. And we ended up not doing that. We ended up staying home and eating pizza. And then Maddie and I played, we played, I don't know what you call it, like the basketball. I used to call it Nerf basketball, but just you put the hoop on your door. We played that for like an hour, maybe longer than that last night. I crushed them. So that's what we did last night. We played a little basketball. I did see the Starship launch recovery. Yes, that was pretty cool. Daniel. Yeah, everyone's one knee down now. Were you an older? How old are you, Daniel? And were you a catcher? It doesn't bother me at all personally. Like I have no problem with it. I know some people are like totally against it, but anyone have a stopwatch on him? Let's see how long it takes Diaz to get to the plate. Oh my jeez Louise. I could have ran backwards on that. I mean, that is so slow to the plate. I'm surprised it was even that close. That felt like it took 2 seconds for him to deliver that ball to the plate. Yeah, see, Daniel, I knew that you were. I was going to guess that you were probably older than me and were a catcher. Do you still mess around with catching at all? Like, I don't know. So I'm not a catcher. So don't take anything I say with a grain of salt. But when I mess around catching and I go into one knee, like it feels super comfortable for me. Now, I'm not a catcher, so I was an infielder. But every catcher that I talk to, especially catchers at high levels, they just talk about how it's so much easier to like receive low strikes and you're already in position to block. And I know, that it feels like I think all the data proves otherwise. But when someone is one knee down and they miss a ball or they don't block a ball, like everyone talks about it. It's like, oh, there's one knee down, crap, caused another, pass ball or wild pitch or whatever. But the data from what I've seen shows otherwise, that it actually makes it easier to block and easier to receive and all that. So I'm like a big investor in Tesla. I own a lot of Tesla stock and have done pretty well over the last 5 years or so with it. And I almost feel like it's a little bit like Tesla. Like a Tesla gets into an accident and like it's all you see everywhere. And they're like, these Tesla cars are terrible, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but it's so then people think like there's a problem when, there's lots of accidents with all other cars, just they don't get any attention. It's the same thing with like a catcher with one knee down. So actually those two might not have anything to do with each other, but that's the way I feel. I agree, Cosmos, and if they do take over the world, I will be living on a beach somewhere. Laura's looking at me. What do you want? What do you want, Laura? Laura's looking up. Nope. Now she's looking at her phone on the stairs. She must be watching me. Man, I got so lucky, guys. I have the most beautiful wife in the world. She's so kind, too. She's making fun of how many viewers there. She says that no one's interested in anything I have to say. Thanks, Let Us Do Battle. You too. Hey, Bill Walsh, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Yeah, so one knee stance has become a lot more popular over the last few years. For people that don't know, it's just if you watch the catchers, you'll see they'll just start with one knee down on the ground. So it is not something that you'll see if you watch. If you look back, I don't know when it became popular, but it was not popular. They weren't doing it when I was playing, but Yeah, so I was saying if Tesla does have robocabs or cybercabs and Tesla bots and all that taking over the world, then you'll find me on a beach somewhere sipping margaritas with Laura. I hear you, Bill. Let's see. Did I play any postseason baseball? No, I never made the postseason, unfortunately. We were in last place when I was with the Padres. My son asks me that all the time. I don't know if he does it because he doesn't remember or if he just does it because he wants me to say how bad our team was. But like we'll be watching playoffs all the time and he'll always be like, did you play in the playoffs? And I want to be like, dude, you know I didn't play in the playoffs. You've asked me. It was like 16 times and you remember everything. But like he even did it, like I think like when the playoffs started, he was like, did you play in the playoffs? No, for the 400th time. Solar roof? I probably won't get a solar roof now. I do own a Tesla though. And if they do come out with the little Tesla bot, I will buy one, even though Lars says one will not be allowed in this house. But I'm doing it to help her. I'm going to get it to like, vacuum and wash the dishes because I don't like doing that. Laura would say I don't do it anyway, but hey, there's some life here still with the Mets. Depends, Kevin. Most guys are pretty beat up. I mean, a lot of players will say the only day that they feel 100% is the first day of spring training. And then after that, that's it. Everyone's different, though. Like, I was always banged up and hurt. Some players are better. Some players are better at staying healthy. Some players are luckier. Dude, Starling Marte is so huge. Like, this guy is absolutely yoked out of his mind. Did I play with Soto? No, I did not play with Soto. Let me look up Soto real quick. Oh, what the? I got out of my Baseball Savant. Baseball Savant. What year did Soto make his debut? Soto made his debut in 18. Yeah, I was done playing well before that. I was drafted in 2006. So. Oh boy. That ball was a little bit by you. Either way, Adam. Either way. Billy, I'm in. I'll be there. That'd be sick. It's going to be a tough ticket to get. Hey, all right, Henry. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, crazy to think that Soto's he's 25 years old. Oh my God, he's 25 years old. That can't be true. I don't believe it. I want to see his birth certificate. I think he's like 29. Pajes, there you go. Oh, so Cosmos, it's funny you say that because when I was talking about the Tesla van, we were talking about it with some of at the facility, and someone said we should get that to drive our teams around, and I was like, that's kind of funny, but maybe we will. Somebody is walking on my front yard right now. Oh, that's my wife. I just saw like a light walking right outside my window, but the front door never opened. Did anyone hear the front door open? I thought someone was walking like literally on my yard with a flashlight, and then I just realized it's Laura walking the dog. No, it was I in Syracuse with the Nationals. I was in Syracuse in 2011, long time ago. Tesla bot catchers. I'd love to have a Tesla bot just throw batting practice though. Teach it how to throw BP. That'd be great. No, we didn't. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Mookie's all over it. All right, headed to the sixth, or headed to the bottom of the fifth. I mean, well, I'll tell you what, everyone. I'm gonna stay and hang out for a few more minutes, but my back. Usually, I just realized this. I usually do this sitting on the sofa, and it's a lot easier. But like being crunched or hunched over like this at my desk, it's good for like having the mic here and having all this stuff, but my neck and back are killing me right now. You know what's interesting is that, and maybe you guys know this better than me, but like, so when I used to do lives, when I used to be on live, like we would have hundreds and hundreds of people watching. And it's weird now. I noticed ever since probably, maybe because I don't go live a lot, I notice we only get like 30, 40 people, which is still decent. But, you know, I have like 260,000 followers. So I find it crazy. Like, I feel like YouTube is doing something to not let people know that we're on live watching this game. Because if we have 260,000 followers who are all baseball fans, you would think a lot of them are watching the game tonight and would want to like jump on and chat. So I don't know what YouTube's doing, but they're doing something. And it's weird how it just like changed. Like I used to go on, I know I used to do live a lot more, but I don't know if maybe that's it. They're like, well, you don't do live enough, so we're not going to tell anyone you're on. I'm not sure. Have I gotten any opportunities to work with MLB in any capacity since doing YouTube? Well, I did the YouTube Game of the Week stuff over the last couple of years. I don't know if you guys saw that at all, but that's all I've really done as far as like with MLB, as far as being a YouTuber. And then we talked about, I've had opportunities to get into the league as a coach or manager, but have not done so. Oh, you saw it on Facebook, huh? So Facebook, it seems, has gotten a few people over. Yeah, see, so I feel like YouTube is not like pushing it to people like they used to. Hey, thanks, Daniel. I appreciate it. And I enjoyed our one knee down talk. You were probably the expert, not me. I do not know. I watch a lot of catching, but I have not caught in a long time. Muncie just selling out there for, oh, he's going to bunt. So I think this will probably be my last inning watching this, and then I'm going to go lay down, rest my back. It's tough getting old. I'm almost 40 now, unfortunately. Oh, no. Safe. Ooh, close. That was really close. Let's watch that again. He just got him. Yeah. Just got him. Another. So back-to-back hitters jumping all over the slider. So clearly they're sitting first pitch sliders, but Diaz has made 2 quality pitches with it. Then he goes fastball after that. That ball's in. Kike's not happy. Oh, good. Oh, goody. Come here. Come here. Let's see if you can see yourself. Who's this, Lucy? Ready? Oh, I can't get the... Lucy, who's that right there? No. Who's that? That's you. Right there. No, on the, there. Who's that? No? Hello, everyone. Okay. You can go. Well, now, Laura just dropped the dog off into the office, and she's not going to be happy being stuck in here. Come here. Want to come up here? Come here. She is a Cavapoo. So, good job. That slider didn't move a whole lot, but hey, I appreciate that, Carrie. Bill, Red Sox might be signing. They might try to sign Alonso next year. Never know. Well, I said I was going to leave after that half inning, but... Well, what are you barking at? You know the most amazing thing with this dog? Hey, Lucy. Hey. Come here. Oh, now she's scratching at the door. Come here. Laura just dropped her off and just closed the door. Like, everyone knew, well, not everyone. I knew she was going to scratch the shit out of the door to get out. Come here. She wants to go back upstairs and lay in bed with Laura. Come here. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, I'm probably going to have to run in a second because the dog is really getting pissed off. She can see herself in the reflection. So we have these glass doors down here, and she can see herself in the reflection. And she still doesn't realize that it's not another dog. It's her. She doesn't get it. Like right now, she's staring at herself, and she's going to bark at herself. Does every dog do that? Wouldn't you think after... I get it the first time, second time, you're like... But then after like the 50th time, aren't you like, whoa, every time I bark and move, like that dog's doing the same thing I'm doing? I don't know. She's supposed to be a good dog. Or a smart dog. I saw that King Charles Cavaliers, is that what they're called? Are like one of the most intelligent breeds of dog. But she's only half of that. And then the other half, not the brightest dog. So maybe she just lost the genetic lottery and didn't get that half of the genius dog. She's still staring at herself.
Come here.
Laura, everyone wants you to say hello.
Hi. Come here, Lucy. You gonna be a good girl?
Let's see. See you, Billy. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go to bed soon in a second, too. Let's see. Why do some batters foul pitches off their legs and feet and other batters never have a problem? Well, I do think there's certain hitters that do foul more pitches off of them. Like, I personally almost never foul the pitch off of my foot or leg unless my swing was just all jacked up. So a little bit of it probably has to do with your path, like your bat path. Some of it has to do with the pitches you swing at. Like, so if you like the ball in and you're swinging at balls in a lot, you'll have probably more of a tendency to kind of foul it off your leg if you don't get the barrel there. Now my wife is harassing you too. Laura,
What?
you texting Billy?
Billy started texting me.
Oh. Bill, she said you're the one that's doing it. All right, going with the pitch and change here. So the back-to-back innings that the Mets have had the leadoff man on. What's it feel like to get hit by a pitch? Lindor popped out. So it doesn't feel good, but it honestly really depends on where you get hit. So like if you get hit on more of a fleshy part of your body, so like if you get hit in the tricep, you're okay usually. You know, that's usually where like if I'm gonna get hit, like so if I'm up like this, I'm gonna get hit. I try to get the ball off of like my tricep or somewhere there. You get it off the elbow. Got hit off the elbow a couple of times because especially when I played, like now everyone wears these elbow guards. When I played, they were not very popular at all. The shin guard was, the elbow guard was not popular. You get hit in the elbow. There's been plenty of times where I get hit and like you can't feel your whole arm. It goes completely numb, and like you run the first base with one arm and you get down there and you're just like waiting for your arm to come back. Sometimes you'll call time and walk for a little bit to try to get your hand working again. Those really hurt. You get hit in the back. You get hit any place where there's not a lot of flesh. Like you get hit in the wrist, that kills. I got hit in the head a couple of times. In the big leagues, how many times did I get hit? I didn't get hit much in the big leagues. I think. Oh, my AirPods just died. I got hit in the head by Chris Carpenter. I don't know if you guys remember Chris Carpenter, but he hit me in the head. Not a big league game though. He hit me in the head in a minor league game. I think he was doing a rehab assignment. In the big leagues, I got hit. I think I only got hit once. Derek Lowe hit me in the ass, I believe. I think that was the only big league hit by pitch. And Derek Lowe was throwing like so slow at that point. He was like at the very end of his career. He was older, and I didn't even feel it. Like I think he threw me like a sinker, and it just hit me in the butt. And I mean, it feels like somebody just like does that to you. And to take my base, say thank you for helping my on base percentage get over 200. Yes, Chris Carpenter with the Cardinals. That's right. Yep. He hit me in the head. Not a fastball though. I think it was a breaking ball that he hit me in the head with. Honestly, hit me in the head, like hit me in the top of the helmet. Didn't feel it all. I've been hit once on the ear. That was the worst one. I got hit on the ear flap, and my whole head, like I lost. I couldn't hear anything out of my ear. It didn't like hurt. It just freaks you out because you get hit and you kind of hear like a bee sound, and then like you can't hear out of your ear for like 10 minutes. So that's the scary part. But yeah, Barry was like maybe not one of the first guys, but he had that humongous arm guard. I mean, he was like kind of on the plate. But yeah, I never wore one. I didn't want like a big bulky one. They hadn't come up yet with a lot of like these like, well, Alonso's got a pretty good, decent sized one there, but like you notice almost everyone wears one now. If I played in the big leagues now, I would 100% wear one. I'd wear all the gear they would give me. I mean, why not? But like the smaller one right there that you see him wearing, So Evo Shields just started to kind of like, they were like, I think they were probably invented when I was playing, because I remember the first year in spring training that they showed up to spring training when they were giving them to us, and you would like put them on. I don't know if you guys have ever worn one before, but you put it on whatever body part you want, whether it's your shin or your elbow, whatever. You put it on, and then you like put like this gauze stuff, and like it forms to your arm specifically for you. And I remember, because before these were invented, they had like these hard ones, but they weren't comfortable, and they were mostly for your shin. And I remember when the Evo Shields came out, and they were like passing them on the locker in the clubhouse, and we were all like trying them on customly, and I was like, this is like it was like, felt like it was from outer space. The purpose of the oven mitt, so a couple of things. When you slide, so when you dive, especially head first, it helps not jam a finger. So you're not gonna, a lot of times like you'll go into a base and you'll jam your finger and you can break a finger or whatever. If you got the oven mitt on, you're not gonna jam your finger. So it protects against that. I think that's probably the main purpose of them, is just to kind of protect your finger and your wrist and all that from getting beat up when sliding. Yeah, Mo Vaughn wore a huge one. Yep, similar to like a Barry Bonds one. Hey, thanks, Ajax. I appreciate you watching. No, Carrie, I wouldn't say most of the players play in pain. Some players do play in pain, but I would just say like you just don't feel 100%. Like your hamstrings, at least for me, like my hamstrings would be tight a lot. My arm would be a little sore. Nothing terrible where you're like, this is brutal. Now, there's definitely a lot of games I played in where I was in pain like that. Like I had plantar fasciitis in my career, and that was the most like excruciating pain. Like I could barely walk around. And so every step you take, I don't know if you guys and girls have ever had that before, but it is excruciatingly painful. People that get it, that don't play a professional sport and just like, work at the office, like it hurts them like really bad. So you can imagine if your job is to run the whole game, how much it hurts. So like that hurt a ton. My wrist, so I had 3 wrist surgeries and a hand surgery. You can see my scar right there. That hurt a lot. I played with, the wrist injury. That hurt a lot. And then I hurt my knee one year. That was excruciating. Like every time I ran, it killed. Those were the really bad ones. And then I pulled my hamstring. That wasn't like a painful thing while playing with it. It was just uncomfortable. Like it always feels tight. You're like, man, I can't run full speed. The other weird injury I had was a guy bunted on me. I was playing third base, and the guy bunted, and he bunted it up in the air, and I was sprinting in, and I had to catch it in the air. If I didn't catch it in the air, I didn't think I was going to have time to field it and throw him out. So I dove, and the ball where's my hand? The ball just landed in front of my glove, so I just missed it. And then the ball went under me, and when I landed, the ball went right into the side of my rib. And when it did it didn't kill. But the next day when I woke up, like it just taking a breath in like that, it hurt so bad. And so I had to play through that. It probably lasted, I don't know, a week or so. That was like really bad pain. Like it was every time I threw, swung, anything, that really hurt. I mean, it hurt to breathe. So depending on what year it is and who your manager is, like sometimes if something's really bothering you, you can go in and tell a manager that something hurts really bad, and they'll give you a day. Like you can be like, can I just get 1 day? Just a 1 day breather. The big leagues is easier because the big leagues, you usually have an off day. You have more off days in the big leagues than the minor leagues. In the minor leagues, you never have off days. So in the big leagues, you got one built in a lot, so you can kind of use that day to recover. In the minors, you don't. So I never asked for an off day in the big leagues. Hell, I could barely get a start. But in the minor leagues, I started all the time. And there was a few times in my career where I asked for a day off. Some managers will say yes. Some managers will say no chance. Like, get the hell out there. So it just depends on your manager. Like Randy Knorr in Washington and AAA would, like, if I needed a day or breather, he would, like, he was really good at seeing, like, I try not to ask for it, but he could see, like when I hurt my foot, he could see me limping bad. And, I wouldn't say anything, but he'd be like, dude, he's like, you don't look good out there. You need a day? And I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I can keep going if you need me to. If you can get me a day, that'd be awesome. And he'd get me a day. But I had some managers where I asked for a day. I asked for a day with my wrist, and I asked the Yankees for a day with my wrist. My wrist was hurting so bad. Something was wrong with it. I'd already had 3 surgeries on it, and it was killing me. And I had been with the Yankees for 16 games. So I played 16 games with them, and my wrist was hurting bad. And on game 17, I went into the manager's office. Well, I went to hit in the batting cage, and I'm hitting, and I'm like, I can't even hold the bat. My wrist hurts so bad. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'd been playing with it hurting. I was trying to just get through it. And I was like praying every day that it would go away, but it never went away. So I take a swing, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I walk into the manager's office, and I was like, hey, Skip, I'm like, my wrist, like, something's wrong with it. I'm like, can I get the night off? Can I get it? Like, I just need a night just to see if it'll feel better. It's killing me. I'm like, I just tried to hit, and I can't hit. And he was like, so you're telling me you can't go? And I was like, I can't go. I'm like, I can't even swing the bat in the cage. And so he's like, okay. So I went back to the clubhouse, and then he called me back in to the office. And I was like, what the hell? So I went back into the office, and he was like, he must have called somebody. And he was like, if you tell me you can't go tonight, we're putting you on the DL. And he was like, so basically he was saying, like, I'm not giving you one day. Like, you're either playing or you're going on the DL. And I was like, oh, geez. And I was like, well, I couldn't play. I physically couldn't play. So I was like, well, I'm just telling you, I can't play tonight. So if you're going to put me on the DL, then I guess I'm going to DL. And they were like, you're on the DL. And guess what? They didn't take me on. They didn't take me off. They put me on the DL, and they kept me on it forever. And then they released me. I was in the training room, like, getting my wrist worked on, and they were like, hey, Skip needs to see you in the office. I went in the office, and he was like, Brian Cashman's on the phone. And I was like, okay. And I picked up the phone, and he was like, hey, Matt. I was like, hey, what's going on, Brian? And he was like, just letting you know, you've been released. And I was like, okay. I was like, and he was like, yep. So we got to make some moves, and so we're going to release you. But we might sign you back. So I went home. I walked out of the office, and I was like, okay. And I packed up all my shit, and everyone's like, what's up? And I'm like, I got released. I threw all my stuff in my car, and I drove home. And then I got home, and I don't know how much, maybe like 3, 4, 5 days later, he called me back, and he was like, you still want to play with us? And I was like, yeah, I'd like a job. He was like, all right, we're going to sign you back. And I was like, okay. And then I got my car, and I drove back. Yes, plantar fasciitis feels like walking on nails. You are right. All that gear was free. Yes, the gear's all free in the big leagues. Curious in your perspective on play downs, kids who play their age instead of their grade. Do you run into this? Do you allow it? Yeah, so I would say it just depends on the player. So I don't have any hard rules that, like, you have to play your grade or you have to play your age or any of that stuff. We just play players where, we play everyone with their age. We start off with that, okay? You play with your age. But if a player is really good and should be playing, my so I've had the game on my AirPods. That way, you guys don't hear the game and me talking at the same time. But my AirPods just died, so I'm gonna take those out. Yeah, so we'll have players. We start playing with their age, and then we'll just move them around. If we feel like they're too good, we might play them up. If it's a grade age thing, and they can play with their grade, we'll play them with their grade. If we feel like it's a better fit for their age, we'll play them with their age. Typically, by junior year, we try to play guys with their grade if we can, but it depends on the team and how they fit on the team. So there's really no hard rules. I don't try to make. I just want to put the player in the best spot we feel for them to develop, and then as they get older, they get recruited. Yeah, when a pitcher blows out their elbow, I'm not sure. So I've never hurt my elbow before. Um, Safe. So I can't hear the audio of the game anymore. Right there, it's you want to get the force out at second, but that's a really difficult play right there. And my number one rule always here's the thing. When you're playing first base and there's a man on first, you're holding the runner, right? The first baseman's holding the runner. So as a bunter, man on first, you want to bunt to first because the third baseman has no responsibility, so he can crash. So you don't want to bunt to the third, so you want to bunt it to first. And if you're the first baseman, that ball's bunted well. It's not bunted super hard. For me, I always tell our guys, number one rule when you on a bunt is get an out. I just want an out. I don't care which out it is. Doesn't have to be a lead runner. Just get me an out. They're going to give us an out. We'll take an out. And then we'll figure it out from there. So I think Alonso just maybe trying to do a little bit too much there. What year did they let me go? The Yankees? The Yankees released me in 2012. That's a nasty splitter right there. Yeah. Shohei's got a hit tonight, but he has not been able to put very good swings on really any pitches. Even his hit was kind of a butt out swing. Oh, that's a nasty splitter right there. Um, yeah, the Yankees. I played with the Yankees, so I was with the Orioles to start the season, and then the Yankees picked me up from the Orioles, put me on their 40-man, and then I was released after, I said, I played 16 games, then got hurt, then got released, then got re-signed, and then got released again. Um, and then next year I signed with the Indians. What do we got? 1-2. He's throwing him a couple of good splitters. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep going with the splitters or if they're going to go, they're going to go with another splitter. Shohei didn't feel comfortable off those fastballs off Manaya because they're left on left with a really tough angle. And now it's you can see that they don't really want to go fastball to him here because they've been trying to go to a ton of splitters. I don't know if they'll eventually go fastball up. Oh, they went breaking ball. He fell. And the thing is here, if you took the out at first, so if we had taken the out at first, we have the base open anyway. So it's you can kind of pitch around Shohei a little bit. And now it's you don't want to give in to him here. So you might still throw a 3-2 splitter. I don't know. Now he went fastball. So that's the thing. It's you can't really put him on and load the bases for Mookie. You also don't want him to hit a 3-run homer right here. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if they throw a splitter right here and just hope that he gets a swing and a miss. He threw a fastball. He is lucky that he didn't destroy that ball. Up, got a hit anyway. Yeah. I guess maybe I would have been right with my splitter. But he didn't hit it well, but he did put it in play. Score is 7-3 Mets, 7-3 Dodgers over the Mets. Let's see. Try to find another few questions before I go to bed. How much of a premium do you put on defensive first base? So I actually put a lot of premium on defensive first base. Like, you want an offensive first baseman. You want someone that can hit because, typically bigger guys are going to be more of your power guys, play first base, usually get power from the corners. But I'll tell you what, I think a defensive first baseman is extremely undervalued. Not by everyone, but a lot of people think like first base is easy. They think like put anyone over there as long as they can hit. I feel like I've now coached long enough and I've seen the difference that a good first base, or if you have a great first baseman, that's awesome. But like, even I've seen what a bad first baseman can do to a team. And it makes all your infielders worse, especially at lower levels. But even in the big leagues, it's surprising how that there's not always, people think like, oh, all the big leaguers make perfect throws to first, and that's not the case. And if you have a first baseman that's really athletic and you can play deep and off the bag and still get the balls and cover up that 4 hole, then I think it's pretty darn valuable. Yeah, I think if you're talking about the infield positions, I think shortstop's the hardest. And I think third base is the next hardest. I think second base is actually really easy, except the turning of the double plays is a little bit more difficult. Like, just playing second base isn't that hard. Now, when the shift, before they put the shift rules in, and you had a lot of teams playing the second baseman on the other side of shortstop when right-handers hit, you almost need like 2 shortstops at that point. Now with the shift rules and you can't play on the others, you can't play 3 guys on one side of the bag. It's back a little bit more just like being an easier position. Turning double plays, it's not like hard, but it's, you just got to practice it because it's a little bit different. Yeah, but I don't think playing first base is an easy position to play. I mean, it's easier than short, and I would say it's easier than third, but it's not like you can just throw anyone out there. Yeah, you're right. Weaver has had a great year with the Yankees. Why is a good splitter hard to lay off? Oh, there's a rare pick to second. You don't always see those very much anymore. I think a splitter is one of the hardest pitches to lay off. First, he's throwing at 90 miles an hour. So, I mean, that's fast. And the ball's dropping a ton. And a lot of times, like, the way it comes out, it looks like a fastball, and then the bottom falls out of it, especially if you throw it hard. Like, that he's throwing at he was just throwing at 90. You had like the Kurt Schilling splitters at 90 plus. You had the Roger Clemens splitters at 90 plus. Like, those splitters are really, really, really hard to pick up and hit. If I was ever facing a guy that threw a splitter, my approach was always to be more aggressive early in the count because I did not want to get the 2 strikes and see splitters. It's just so hard to hit. So the best 2-strike approach is don't get the 2 strikes. So if I'm facing somebody that if I go into the game and I'm like, I don't want to get the 2 strikes off this guy. Like, he's, got nasty off speed stuff. He's got like an out pitch that can really get me out. He didn't catch it. Against those guys, I would be much more aggressive. If a guy has no out pitch and I'm like, this guy has nothing to get me out, then I don't feel like I need to be more aggressive. I'm like, whatever. If I get the 2 strikes, who cares? How many pure pitchers do we carry on our rosters? Oh, for it depends on the age, but last year I coached our 17s, and I think we probably had like 6 or 7 pitcher onlys. By that age, most of our pitchers, most of the guys have already decided they're going to pitch in college, and we're a high enough level of travel ball where like you've got to be a pretty, ooh, nice play. You got to be a pretty good pitcher to pitch for us. So we'll have some position players pitch, but it's mostly pitcher onlys. I did pitch. I pitched in high school, my whole high school career. I pitched in travel ball. And then in college, I didn't pitch. But then I was asked my junior year about pitching, about closing. But I decided I didn't want to. Because my senior in high school, I had to become a closer because I played short every game, and then it was just too much to pitch and then play short and to pitch and play short. So I became a closer, so I would just have to pitch like the last inning. But even doing that was like tough on my arms. So back foot slider pitchers hit the most batters. I mean that pitch definitely has the possibility of hitting them. I don't know if they hit the most batters, but. Yeah, we're 7-3 Dodgers. It's the bottom of the sixth right now. We got first and third, 2 outs. And we got Edman up at the plate. He's 2 for 3. He had a double early in the game on a breaking ball that he was out in front on. And then he hit a fastball for a homer, a big homer. And Mookie just stole. Yeah, Matty's doing travel ball. So last year he was 1 year too young, but he was 9 last year, but he played on the 10-year-old team. And then he's going to repeat this year as a 10-year-old. So 10-year-olds are our youngest team. I was a fastball, curveball pitcher. I had a changeup, but it was not a great changeup. I had a pretty good breaking ball. I could command it pretty well, and I naturally kind of cut the ball a little bit, so I throw a pretty good breaking ball. I've never been able to throw a good changeup. Changeup was like by my third pitch by far, and I almost never threw it. Every now and then to a lefty, but. And they're going to get out of there. Edman hit a little chopper to second base. Yeah, I think it's interesting with the batting order. So like I mean for me typically I hit my one hitter is going to be whoever I think is going to get on base the most. My 2 hitter, it can be your best hitter. But I mean, yeah, I'm hitting my best hitters at the top of the order. But usually my number 1 hitter is someone I just think is going to get on base the most, and then a lot of times I will put my best hitter in the 2 hole. No, my son hits lefty and throws, or my son hits lefty and throws lefty. He's left. He does everything lefty. So he's pitcher, first base, outfield. But he'll play in little league. He plays shortstop, but I didn't play him at shortstop last year. He's kind of pissed about that, but he's a good first baseman, good outfielder. Yeah, I think changeups depend a little bit on so I naturally, let me try to I just want to get my picture up here. Here you go. So I naturally kind of want to supinate. So I naturally, when I throw the ball, I get around the ball a little bit this way. So I cut a lot of stuff. I'm better at, cut fastballs, breaking balls, anything where I can spin the ball, I'm good. I am not good at pronating. So a changeup just doesn't work for me. I cannot throw good changeups. It's been like that my whole life. my batting practice now as a coach, like I cut everything. I'm always around the ball. So, you know, most people are biased like one way or the other. So some people are better at pronating and they might be better at throwing changeups, and other people they're just more naturally like supinators. So they're going to be better with their breaking ball, not as good with changeups. Tough life, Bill. Go golf. What am I talking about? I'm not working tomorrow. No, I'll be working. I got a lot of office work to do tomorrow. Me, was I a ball player? I'm no longer a ball player. I was a ball player. I'll tell you a quick story, then I'm going to go. So yesterday we're doing fall ball, and we've got small diamond game going on and a big diamond game. Small diamond game, I ran up there like late. I was watching both games, but so it's just an inter squad scrimmage. We scrimmage against each other. We have coaches on the field so we can like stop play or whatever. And we needed a right fielder at a particular time in the game, and I was like, throw me a glove, and I was like, I'll play right field. So I go to right field, and I'm like talking a lot of smack to the guys. These kids are all like 10, 11, and 12. And nice play right there. Oh, I got to pick that. Nice play. Who's over there at third? Is that Kike over at third? Kike just made it for the playoffs. So I made a play. Guy hit a ball to me, and I came running in, slid, and made a nice catch. And I said to everyone, just reminding all of you that I played a little bit of ball back in the day. A lot of our guys like don't know anything. They don't know. Well, a lot of them know I played baseball or played in the major leagues a little bit, but some of them have no idea. But Matty thought that was a funny line. He was saying that all day today. My favorite part is a lot of people don't. So my dad obviously coaches with us, or not obviously, but he coaches with us. He's at the facility every day. And the funniest thing is like not a lot of kids again, but like some kids have no idea that we're related. I had a kid a few nights ago. He's been with us forever, and he was like, "Where's Jack?" And I was like, "Oh, he's on vacation." Oh, I was like, "Jack." I was like, "Jack who? Jack, Coach Jack or Player Jack?" And he was like, "Jack, the coach." And I'm like, "My dad, Jack?" And he was like, "Your dad, Jack?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're talking about Coach Jack. Jack that coaches with us." He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Yes, my dad." And the kid's like, "That's your dad?" And I'm like, "Hello, I'm Earth. Have we met?" But so, a lot of people have no idea that it's my dad. I just thought that I guess for a kid, maybe, I don't have a tan and he does, so. Oh, that ball's rip right there. All right, Jason, have a good night. And all right, everyone, my back hurts so bad right now. Like, I'm just like been leaning over like this for 2 hours. So I am going to go and lay down on my sofa. So it was fun chatting with everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And we'll see if we have a Mets comeback here. I'm going to go watch the rest of the game from my sofa. And then I'm going to try to figure out a setup where I don't have to be so uncomfortable here and can make it through an entire game. Oh my Lord, we got a ball in a gap. Now we got a game going on right now. It's gonna be second and third. Nope. Held into a single there. Come on, Jeff. Use the wheels. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and we will see everyone next time. Maybe I'll try to stream all the World Series games. I did that last year. I'll try to do that again. We'll talk to everyone later.